Good afternoon and welcome to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. I'm Mike Dene.
And I'm Charlie Hossack.
Today, Charlie, we are going to wrap up the Red Sox season, kind of.
I would think so. I think
much.
we're at a point.
Patriots are full into it. We'll talk about their training camp,
Sure.
some other stuff that's going on in the NFL. Talk about some Kingswood dates because the fall sports are right around the corner.
I know, I can't believe it.
But let's start. You just came back from a sports-related little trip.
I did. I took a trip with my son and some of his friends. We went down to Camden Yards in Baltimore, and this was our third annual trip.
Nice.
So it's a lot of fun. Have you been to Camden Yards?
Just drove by it.
Okay.
I've never been in.
Camden Yards is a beautiful facility. It's not as new as you would expect. It's over 20 years old now.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere of Camden Yards is amazing. The reason why we go down there is because we have a better experience at Camden Yards than we do at Fenway.
Really?
Yeah, and we had the opportunity. We also, we didn't see the Red Sox because they were not there. We got to see the Astros play. But as far as just the atmosphere of Camden Yards, it's a beautiful ballpark. It's wide open. The concessions are amazing, and the prices are significantly lower than Fenway.
So the first thing you said to me today when I saw you was, we got to tear down Fenway, we got to build a Camden Yards.
We do. I'm kind of sticking by that comment.
So let's start. One thing that I like about Fenway is how close you are to the field.
Right.
Is that the same way at Camden? Are you tight in the field like that?
You are tight. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not, obviously you're not as tight as Fenway.
Okay.
But you are definitely tight and on top of the action. If you want to sit down, at the lower boxes, we're bleacher creatures. We like to sit out there. But even we sat in the front row of the bleachers. And all the outfielders interact with you, right fielder, center fielder.
Any balls hit out?
Yeah, actually, one of the guys that we were with got a batting practice ball.
Okay.
And as far as balls hit out, it was I don't know if you'd watched any of the festivities. They were just home run after home run after home run. And the Saturday night game, it was a record for the Houston Astros. It's the most runs they've ever scored in their franchise history. 23-2, they beat the Orioles.
And I saw coming off the Saturday night game that on Sunday, Baltimore was, or maybe it's a better way to say it, Houston was the largest regular season favorite ever in the history of baseball.
Really?
And guess what happened on Sunday?
Sunday was a walk-off win by the Orioles. So exciting because we went down, obviously, to see the Astros. And not the Orioles, but we were Orioles fans.
Yeah.
How can you not be?
Right.
So especially after the Saturday night fiasco of just getting crushed, and then having a walk-off win. Saturday night there were 20,000 fans there, which is actually high for Baltimore. They were as low as like 13,000 against the Rays the week before.
So what were the ticket costs compared to?
So we got.
You were in the bleachers.
We sat in the bleachers. We paid $21.
Okay.
Front row of the bleachers.
Front row, like walls right there.
Like the walls right there, you have a little railing, and the walls right there, and if you continued, you'd fall on the ground. You fall onto the field.
Okay.
And Fenway.
Those seats are probably
in the 30s, right?
I was gonna say, well, on Friday night's game for the Angels, we were looking at some tickets, and they weren't in the front row, but they were bleachers probably midway, and they were starting at 41.
Okay.
So
so $20 less.
At least.
Yeah.
You're talking front row stuff, so I imagine front row was probably pushing 60, 65.
Yeah.
How about the concessions?
Concessions were amazing. You can get, and you can help me out with Fenway because it's, well, I guess I've obviously been to Fenway many times. The hot dog, so a hot dog and a Coke at Camden Yards will run you $11. So I don't know if that.
I think that's probably comparable to
Fenway.
Yeah. So it's so expensive to take a family. In years, sometimes I can get free tickets from some of the guys that have businesses and stuff like that, which is nice because it certainly takes the edge off. But when we pay and bring the family, the five of us, I've got to look at it as almost a $600 or $700 day.
Right. Exactly.
For a decent seat, which is around $100.
Yeah.
A decent seat.
Yeah.
It's $50 of parking unless you want to walk, pretty far.
Let me interrupt you with the parking. Camden Yards parking.
Yeah.
They consider Houston obviously a prime team.
Yeah.
So the parking was $10.
Huh.
And you park in the Camden Yard parking lot. And when we had gone before, if it's not a prime, if it's not the Red Sox or the Astros or the Yankees, it's $5 to park. So you can't beat that. And it's actually public parking. It's run by the city of Baltimore.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, so who has $600 or $700 for a baseball game? It's
right.
It becomes more of an event, just not something. Hey, let's go to the ball game tonight.
Yeah.
You're gonna really push
you
the money aside.
it.
So it comes back to what we opened with. should. Boston, when the new ownership took over 20 years ago or so, there was a lot of talk of tearing down the stadium.
Right.
And they decided that they were going to remodel it. So, Fenway Park's been there forever, and they remodeled it, put the green monster seats in there, a whole bunch of other seats all around.
Right.
Do you think they should tear it down? Is the experience at these newer ballparks that much better?
I mean, obviously, in my opinion, I enjoy the experiences at the newer ballparks.
Okay.
I love it. I got a chance to go, obviously, to the old Yankee Stadium, and I went to the new Yankee Stadium, and I like the new Yankee Stadium a whole lot more.
Yeah.
I think you have to be delicate, obviously, with Fenway. From the historical perspective, Fenway Park, obviously amazing. You don't have to, you don't have to go into that, but you can keep some of the features and create a modern ballpark. I like
build the same dimensions, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you can build the same dimensions, but I think you can, I don't know, just build it bigger in a sense of not taking away the closeness of being to the field. But I think what they did at Camden Yards was they created this large concourse where they have all the food and stuff underneath. That's just massive. I mean, it's like an airline hangar. So that the crowds, even though if it's crowded, you don't feel that, and you can spread out. So I think if they could expand, the problem is real estate in Boston, right? Where where are you going to build this? I mean, that's what they would have to do. So I don't think they could do it on the footprint unless they're going to buy up all the real estate around Fenway Park.
And would you want to give up that location? I mean, you can push them out of town like Foxborough.
Yeah.
Push them out of town,
right.
but I don't think that the experience just won't be the same.
Right. Yeah.
That's a tough one, and I think it's a tough decision that Boston ownership has had, is that there's so much history with Fenway Park, and people come just to go to Fenway Park.
Sure.
In a lot of places, the Field of Dreams. We'll talk about Field of Dreams in a second.
Right.
But it's their Field of Dreams to go to Fenway Park.
Yeah.
It's the same ground that Babe Ruth walked on,
and you hear the players talking. The players are in awe, like going to Fenway Park. So I get it. I guess. I mean, maybe I'll retract my comment. Let's not tear it down, but they need to figure out something. The Fenway to me, if you say what are the first things you think of with Fenway, and I'll say historical, beautiful, smells like stale beer. Like it's just
obstructed view.
It's dirty. It's just so I don't know. I just think it needs to be spruced up. And I don't know how to do that.
Or the seats are pointed in the wrong direction. Like if you go down the right field line,
if you're at a game, you're like
home
sitting
plate,
here, and you're like this. Yeah,
you're just looking like this the whole time.
Right.
Which
I get it.
Anyway. All right. So it's a hard one because I don't know if I want to give up Fenway.
Right.
I mean, when I bring the kids down to Fenway, it's a really special moment. I think it would still be special going to another ballpark,
sure.
But.
I don't disagree with that. It's when you get a chance to taste some of the other parks, you're like, wow, we're really missing out.
Well, I mean, just down the road in Foxborough, Gillette Stadium compared to Schaefer Stadium or something.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it's like night and day.
It is.
And it certainly raised the view of the Patriots when they built the new stadium.
Right.
So anyway. Yeah. Well, while we're talking on that, we're going to have the Red Sox down later, but we're on baseball right now. Is there really anything else to say at this point? I mean, we kind of died them off last week.
Yeah.
They're still playing. They still got a month and a half left anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even losing yesterday in extra innings, that was disappointing. I mean, Sale's back, like for that one game. He pitched extremely well.
He threw about 3 or 4 miles an hour harder than he had been.
Yeah. So that's a bright spot. David Price is on injured reserve. I don't really think he's injured, but his feelings were hurt.
Yep.
So that's the typical. He's going to go on to injured reserve.
Purcell's still throwing batting practice.
Yeah, he is.
The highest ERA in the majors.
Yeah. So
that the kid that they traded for, their number 5 pitcher, probably their number 4 pitcher now, threw better yesterday.
Yeah.
But still was not great. A little bit on yesterday, which I mean, the Sox mathematically are not out of it.
Right.
And so they should be doing everything they can.
Yeah, try to make a run. Yeah.
So yesterday they sat Mookie Betts to start the game. They brought up a second baseman who was obviously not ready for prime time.
Right.
He struck out 3 out of his 5 times, completely overmatched, came up with guys on base all the time.
Right.
They did bring Mookie Betts into the game. They brought Brock Holt into the game later on. But
Yeah, you're right. Those are moves you make in September when you're 10 or 11 out, and you start bringing kids up.
Or you're 15 or 20 up, like last year.
Yeah, right.
I mean, just at this point, when you absolutely have to have games, should Mookie Betts get any days off unless he's injured? Of course not.
No.
I don't understand that.
No.
And, I mean, now they're 7.5 out of the wild card. It's all but done. And there just doesn't seem to be the urgency that you would think that a team should have.
Yeah. And how about Dombrowski's comments, saying that there weren't any issues with the bullpen, and they've blown some saves, and it was just embarrassing. He's coming out saying that.
He's got one more year. I am a get rid of Dombrowski guy. I wish he'd leave on his own, because what he's done to the farm system, I think, is inexcusable.
Right.
And I know that they won, and you have to just kind of hedge everything with that they did win.
Mm-hmm.
But are they in trouble long term?
Yeah.
The way things are right now, and it comes back to trade. There's a lot of talk about Mookie being traded in the offseason.
Yep.
That they're going to take one more shot at him, and if he doesn't accept it, then they're going to tell him, we have to trade you.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, going back, I wish they had done that prior to the deadline.
Yeah.
It was interesting, the comment that you made. I was talking with one of the ushers at Camden Yards this weekend, and he was talking about Dombrowski, and he said the same thing that you had said. He said that Dombrowski did what he was hired to do. He came in, he got the Red Sox a ring, and now it's time for him to move on to some other organization and get them a ring, because he's not going to be able to stay and sustain, and he's kind of has essentially destroyed the Red Sox, and his legacy would be like, hey, I got your ring. That's what he does. That's what he's good at.
He's like a closer.
Yeah. So I mean, and it was interesting because he had similar conversation that we had. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
On another baseball note, next summer,
the
Yankees and the White Sox are playing on the Field of Dreams field, not the actual Field of Dreams field,
but right next to it. They're going to build one.
Building one, 8,000 seats.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be a tough ticket to get?
I would think so. I think those tickets are probably already gone.
Those probably won't be $21 tickets.
No. You've seen some of the memes. Finally, the White Sox will be able to sell out a game.
I think it's a great idea, and I'm surprised it took this long.
I know.
Field of Dreams was, long story short, that was the first date for my wife and I.
Really?
Yeah, we went to Field of Dreams movie.
Wow. I was still in high school. Were you?
No, it was just in college.
Oh, okay.
Just in college.
I didn't know.
Not 30, that far in college.
30 year. It's 30-year anniversary.
Yeah, that was our first day to go to the Field of Dreams movie, and as a baseball guy, just tears.
Oh yeah.
Name me your 3 best baseball movies all time.
Well, Field of Dreams is number 1.
Okay.
And it's not a baseball movie, and I'm actually not going to mention it. It was a series on Netflix. And actually, my high school buddy was in the series. I'll just say, or maybe it was HBO. It wasn't Netflix. Eastbound and Down.
Okay.
All right. So my high school buddy actually stars in that. But getting back to another baseball movie. Let's see.
I'm with you on Field of Dreams.
Yeah. What else? I mean.
My number 2 is The Natural.
Okay.
I really enjoyed. That's the Robert Redford.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen it.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Number 3, probably Bull Durham.
Bull Durham's good.
Or Major League.
I was going to go. I had to go with Major League, and I definitely like Major League. There were 3 of them, right? So Major League 2, and Major League back to the minors. But Major League,
Major League
was, I would go with Major League. Bull Durham. So Bull Durham, that's also Kevin Costner?
Bull Durham's Kevin Costner.
Yeah, and obviously Field of Dreams.
And then honorable mentions, The Rookie.
Yeah.
I think with Dennis Quaid.
How about The Sandlot? Did you like The Sandlot?
The Sandlot. Yeah. That would be probably number 1 for my kids.
Definitely, and I loved watching it with them. So.
But yeah, so that's certainly going to be an honorable mention, The Sandlot and The Rookie. I think The Rookie is just a great story, which is a true story. The Rookie.
Right.
Real quick before we get off of baseball, do you know another story that's going to be coming out? Did we talk about this last week? The guy that got signed by the Rays by throwing.
We did, yeah.
We already talked about that one?
Yeah. That's right. That'll be a movie. But let's just go back to Field of Dreams for a minute. So they're gonna, from what my understanding is, the regular Field of Dreams is here, and you got the farmhouse and all that, and they're actually going to have a path through the cornfield
to get to the field,
to connect it to the field that the MLB is building.
That's so cool.
I mean, how cool! That is wicked so cool. Who throws out the first pitch? Does Kevin Costner throw out the first pitch?
Has to.
Oh, definitely.
He has to.
I already got chills just thinking about this.
He has to. That's just, and, how many fathers are going to want to bring their sons over there to play catch?
Oh, yeah.
That's such a magical movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're a baseball guy, then that's certainly something you want to see. Hopefully, that's not the only game they play there. It's kind of, they're doing it as almost like the Winter Classic hockey game.
Right.
And hopefully each year they play a game there and different teams can do it. I think the Yankees and the White Sox make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. The White Sox are featured in the movie.
Well, then you have to. It has to be.
So, and the Yankees are obviously, a big market team.
Right. And hopefully, like you said, hopefully that continues. The thing that speaking of baseball, the thing that I didn't like the going over to England.
No.
Yeah, I think they've got cricket or whatever they do over there.
Yeah.
So,
but they're going next year.
I know.
The Cubs and the Cardinals.
I don't think we need to expand necessarily internationally, except for Canada.
I would rather see them do more stuff like the Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Than go over to London.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Speaking of internationally, I said Canada, but what about Mexico? Mexico would be great to have a team. I mean,
yeah,
we're all connected, so it wouldn't be. It's not like going over the pond
for now.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't.
Yeah,
we've never. Has there ever been talk that
I think that there was it football? Maybe it was football.
Maybe
they played in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Yes, because Brady played the Patriots played the Raiders down in Mexico City, so they do have some stuff where they're playing down there. I don't know why.
I was even thinking of a franchise, like have a franchise. I mean, think of all the Hispanic players that play in the league. I mean, obviously they're not just Mexicans, but Dominicans and how cool would that be to kind of capture that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't work for the MLB yet.
I don't know. So. I think it's a great story. I think that it's going to be fun leading up to it. It's going to be must-see TV to see how they do that.
I know.
And 8,000 seats.
Yeah.
That's just going to be
We're not going to
romantic.
We're not going to make it to Iowa.
No.
Unless Timothy could pull some strings.
Well, they said the biggest problem that they have with this game?
It's Iowa. There's nothing around, right?
So there's Iowa, which is in kind of like the middle of nowhere anyway. Yeah. And then there's this field, which is, if you go to the middle of nowhere, then you got to go another 100 miles to get to this field.
Right.
Because it is really, truly in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
It's 100 miles in every direction that there's.
Where are people going to stay? Where are they going to park? Well, it's only 8,000.
It's only 8,000, but I mean, I'm sure they're going to figure that part out. But where are they going to stay? I don't know. Put up some tent cities or something like that.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
So maybe we could stay in the farmhouse.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know how much time we have left.
No, I don't even know either. Let's see.
Let's talk Patriots. So we briefly talked about Brady's contract last week. He had just signed it, but now we're starting to see there's a little bit more drama to the contract than we originally thought.
Yes.
Where he's a free agent at the end of this year.
Right.
And he put his house up on the market.
Down in Brookline, right?
He was interviewed this morning, and he says, "Do not read into anything."
Okay.
But do you know who else put his house on the market today?
No.
Alex Guerrero. That's
really?
Brady's business partner.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but Brady says, "Do not read anything into it. It's going to take me forever to sell that house."
Oh.
Can you? I'll just ask this, and we can move on. Can you see a scenario where Brady is playing for another team next year?
Can I see a scenario? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I want it to happen? No. But his idol, Joe Montana,
played for Kansas City,
did the same thing. So it's not,
But Montana was like 38, 37, 38 when he was 43.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you're I think close to 43 and close to that I am.
Kraft's going to do everything he can to make sure that Brady stays and retires a Patriot.
The only scenario I see it happening is if his game falls so badly off this year, where now he's no longer a viable quarterback. He's just being a quarterback to get to 45 to promote TB12. If he's that bad, which by indications in practice that's not the case.
Right.
But if he's lost his ability, like remember Peyton Manning a couple of years ago when Denver won that Super Bowl, he couldn't throw the ball 20 yards.
Right.
If that kind of stuff happened, then I could see Belichick saying enough's enough.
Enough's enough. Yeah.
But if he is able to play to around his ability, I just cannot see him playing for another team.
Right.
I can't see the Crafts allowing that to happen.
Yeah, I can't either.
And it would be, and I think from Brady's perspective, I think he'd be absolutely crazy to do it.
Yeah.
Because
it would tarnish his reputation.
But there's also a greater chance that he's not going to succeed than he is going to succeed.
Right.
And if he doesn't succeed, then everything that he's accomplished is going to have a little asterisk to it because the credit is going to be completely go to Belichick.
Right.
Where if he does succeed, then then that's obviously going to be pretty good. I just give Belichick a much greater chance of succeeding without Brady than Brady succeeding without Belichick.
Right. And there's been a lot of talk about that. Does Belichick not want Brady around so that Belichick can say, "Hey, I can do this without him"? And then does Brady not want to play under Bill and say, "Hey, look, I'm a stud quarterback. It's not the system. It's because I'm the best quarterback."
Yeah, I'm sure there's both of that's happening, and I think that their success is due to both of them.
I agree.
When Belichick has Brady, he has that sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
He still's got to coach these guys up, and he changes his roster over so much.
Right.
But for Brady, he's been in the same offense for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a football guy. That's pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Now going to a new offense, new coaches, new patterns, new verbiage,
Right.
and he's not like he's 30. He'd be 43 years old doing it.
Right.
I just
don't
see it happening.
Yeah.
And they had their first preseason game on Thursday night.
Yep. I actually watched it.
I watched some of it.
Yep.
There's really nothing bad that you could say about anybody, can you?
No.
I mean, just a bunch of superstars ran around out there.
It looked good.
Was it more about New England or more about Detroit?
I mean, Detroit's obviously not a very good team.
Well, they're supposed to be pretty good this year. They beat the Pats last year, too.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know. I think my biggest concern going in was I just wanted to see the offense. And, N'Keal Harry unfortunately got injured.
Two good plays, though.
But made some nice plays.
Yep.
Jacoby Myers made some nice plays. And it was really, they looked good, And I felt, I don't know, it was weird because it's preseason. I don't really get excited about preseason. But I was like, wow, the offense was it was flowing. And the defense looked strong.
9 sacks.
I mean, it was
9.
Yeah, it was a really good preseason performance.
When was the last time the Patriots got 9 quarterback pressures?
Yeah,
right,
let alone sacks.
I mean, they got guys coming off the edge left and right.
Yeah.
They're pretty stout up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good, but it's preseason.
It is.
And,
it is.
We've seen them go to these preseason games and get killed.
Oh, yeah.
The Patriots get killed, and then we all hit panic buttons.
Yeah.
And then they come out and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
So
are they going to go 4-0 and then
I just
go 8-8?
For me, what I like to see is I like to see the guys moving around on defense.
Yeah.
Because that's how they ended last year, and it seems like they're going to keep that
going. Yeah.
They're not going to
call it the amoeba defense.
Yes, not keep everybody in front of them and play conservative. That's a great sign to start with.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
I'm going to the third game. I'm going to go to the
Giants game.
Giants game.
Did you get tickets?
I got tickets. Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to the preseason game.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still excited for it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and it'll be nice atmosphere. And,
good.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was just going to say.
Patriots defense preseason. How much you like your co-host? No,
those are all true.
Yeah.
All right, so I forgot. So we got other NFL news. A little drama going on in the Raiders. The Raiders signed Antonio Brown this year, and big contract, gave him a lot of money, and he got frostbite on his feet.
Yeah.
Because he was in some cryogenic thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but and so that's kind of a big story.
It is.
But no, he tops it. He says he's not playing. He's going to retire unless he can wear his old helmet.
His old helmet. Yeah.
Now there's wide receiving divas.
Yeah.
Then there's super divas, and then there's Antonio Brown.
Right.
Because
I'm not going to play unless I can wear my old helmet.
I'm going to sue the league if I have to wear that helmet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pittsburgh's looking pretty smart right now.
Yeah.
They are. They're looking really smart, and because that is diva to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's a team killer too.
Yeah. It might be time to say goodbye, Antonio.
You can retire, but
feel free to retire.
Oakland gave up like a 4th and a 5th, but they gave up a lot of money. They're going to have to come back after that money.
Mm-hmm.
So what's with the wide receivers? You're a football guy. What's with wide receivers in football?
I mean, it used to be back in the day. It used to be like the quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
And now the wide receivers are they're on any team. I mean, obviously not in Kingswood football, but most they think they're special They think they're the most important part of the team. And, in the football, and you get this, if you don't have your linemen, to be honest with you, I mean, I'm going to shout out to the linemen, because if the linemen don't do their job, receivers can't catch the ball, quarterbacks can't throw the ball, running backs can't run the ball. And the guys that deserve the credit are the guys right up front. I mean, they make it all happen. If they're not doing their job, no one else can get their touchdowns.
But the receivers want all that attention.
Yeah.
Remember Freddie Mitchell with the hands in the 03? I want to thank God for my hands.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's obviously talented receivers and pretty amazing. They can make some amazing catches, but it's, I don't know. I thought that's why I like the Patriots, because you don't typically hear a lot of this, because Belichick's not going to allow it. And prior to Belichick, Parcells didn't allow it.
Right. I mean, they haven't had any of those receivers. They had Chad Ochocinco for a year, who couldn't do anything for a year, but he kept his mouth shut.
Yeah. Well, they had Randy Moss. And Randy Moss could have easily gone down that road.
Well, he did at the end, and when he went sideways, and what'd they do?
Yeah.
They traded him.
They did.
Middle of the season.
See you later.
Yeah. And Randy Moss still comes back, and he's pretty happy coming back.
Mm-hmm.
They don't put up with that. Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas. He's a running back, but he was refusing to play without a new contract.
Well, I just say don't play. So.
Well, Jerry Jones came out and says that championship teams don't necessarily have to have a, leading running back.
Yeah.
And the Patriots prove that every single year.
They sure do.
I don't know. It's just drama in the NFL is kind of hard.
I want to know. Going back to that with Antonio Brown, I want to know how he got frostbite. Like, get out. Like, I don't know.
I don't understand it either. Do you see the pictures of his feet?
Oh yeah. It's terrible.
Horrific.
It's
it's terrible. But anything else going on in the sports world? That Kingswood Sports is starting up.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. We got Kingswood going soon.
Next week, Mr. Aaron House is going to be the athletic director at Kingswood. Is going to be joining us.
That's awesome.
And so we'll be able to preview all the fall sports and what he has to do to get things ready. I was just talking to him a little while ago, and he's just talking about field space and organizing that. So that's going to be nice. We'll have him on the show next week and get a lot of questions out of him. You said soccer starts today.
Yeah, they have preseason boys soccer.
And today is the 11th, August 11th.
So they go this week Monday through Friday.
Football is
starting on the 16th.
So that's Friday?
I don't know what date it is.
Saturday?
So Friday. I believe they start Friday.
Okay. And then next week, I believe all the other sports are starting. So golf is starting next week.
Cross country,
soccer teams, and so on.
Field hockey.
So we're going to start. After Mr. House, we're going to start getting some of these other guys in, the other coaches in.
For season previews. Yeah.
So we'll be busy. We'll stack them up. Good thing that the Sox are out of it. We can stop talking about them now.
I know. We can focus on.
We need to have some other space.
Focus on Kingswood and the Patriots.
All right.
And we mentioned this last show, but I know I'm excited, and I hope you are too, that we're going to be covering football games.
Yep.
And we'll be going to the home and away games, and we'll be covering it for Wolfeboro Community TV, and maybe we'll try to work in some other sports as well.
Hopefully we get to do a couple other sports just to spread it out a little bit. But I did the field hockey game last year. I enjoyed that. It was different.
Yeah.
It was different, and so I'd like to do another field hockey game.
Awesome.
Maybe a couple soccer games.
Yeah, let's hit the guys and the girls, and I think that would be great. One thing we failed to mention last week. So they had the game, the Chad game, football game. Yeah. Cam Mann. Kingswood's Cam Mann.
That's right.
Kingswood's Cam Mann. Not only did he play in it, he was selected to be a captain of the team, and he just had an incredible game. New Hampshire beat Vermont. Cam Mann scored, and
first time in 4 years.
Yeah, the New Hampshire lost the past 3. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So Cam Mann, big shout out to him. So I know he's going to be going on to play at the next level, but it was awesome that he was selected captain. And played a heck of a game.
And they don't do an MVP of the game, but anybody says if they did do an MVP, that Cam would have been chosen.
Absolutely.
So, well done, Cam.
So, good job, Cam.
Okay. Anything else, Charlie?
I don't think so.
All right. So that's going to do it for us on Mike in the Hoss, Wolfeboro Community Television. We will see you next week with some Kingswood sports previews.
Go Kingswood.
Have a good week.